Good evening everyone. This is PARVATHAM JAYASREE. I am biology faculty. Today we are going to discuss about life process. Okay. So what are different life process? For the survival of organism, the main process which are helping, this all comes under life process. Generally, procurement of food, intake of food, respiration, circulation, excretion, this all comes under different life process. Today we are going to discuss about nutrition first of all. So what is nutrition? Intake of nutrients. Intake of nutrients or procurement of all the nutrients. Procurement of nutrients is called nutrition. So every living organism requires some nutrients for survival, isn't it? So if it is unicellular organism, the mode of nutrition may be different. So what is the mode of nutrition in unicellular organisms? So unicellular organisms, they can take food only through body surface. Why? Because they are having only single cell. With the help of body surface only they can obtain the food. Example, amoeba. If you take multicellular organisms, there is a division of work in multicellular organisms, so that specialized organs will be there for taking food and for digestion also. Here, if you take multicellular organisms, different modes of nutrition we can see. Parasitic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, and these all comes under different modes of nutrition in higher animals also. So, first we will see autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition. So what is autotrophic nutrition? The mode of nutrition which is performed by themselves. So generally green plants they can perform autotrophic nutrition. Auto means self. Trophism means preparation. Okay. Auto means self. Trophism means preparation. The organisms which can prepare their own food by using some raw material like sunlight, water, carbon dioxide and chlorophyll, these all nutrients they can utilize and they can prepare their own food. So green plants are called autotrophs. Okay. So heterotrophs means the organisms which will depend on other organisms. Heterotrophs. Except green plants, remaining all the organisms we can consider as heterotrophs. So directly or indirectly all the organisms they depend on other organisms for their food. Green plants only for their food. So heterotrophic nutrition, higher animals, human beings also considered under heterotrophs. Human beings is all we can take as example for heterotrophic nutrition. So first we will discuss about autotrophic nutrition. So in autotrophic nutrition, what are the raw material required for green plants? See, first sunlight. So if you take photosynthesis equation, 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6H2O plus 6O2 in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, so these are the raw material which are required for photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. So carbon dioxide plant can get from atmosphere, water from the soil, sunlight from the sun, chlorophyll pigment is present in leaves itself. By utilizing all these four raw material, plant can prepare food in the form of glucose. Okay, along with glucose, water and oxygen also released in photosynthesis. So these two are called byproducts of photosynthesis. Okay, so glucose is unstable product. So after utilizing by the plant, excess glucose will be converted into starch. So plant can store food material in the form of starch. So here raw material for photosynthesis are carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. Carbon dioxide plant can get from atmosphere, water from the soil, sunlight from sun, chlorophyll pigment is present in leaves itself. By utilizing all this raw material, plant is preparing food in the form of glucose. So after utilizing by the plant, excess glucose will be converted into starch. Along with glucose, what are the byproducts forming here? Water and oxygen. So oxygen is a gas. So directly it will be released into atmosphere. So this is about photosynthesis. Now next, if you come to heterotrophic nutrition, so different organisms. Okay, before starting to heterotrophic nutrition, we will revise the previous topics. So nutrition means intake of nutrients or procurement of nutrients is called nutrition. So different nutrients we discussed in previous classes, 6th and 7th class only. We have read the basics: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. These all comes under different nutrients. Okay, intake of all these nutrients is called nutrition. So the mode of nutrition is different from organism to organism. First, if you take autotrophic nutrition, auto means self, trophism means preparation. So green plants and some blue-green bacteria which contains little bit chlorophyll, they can perform the photosynthesis. So those two only comes under autotrophic nutrition. So remaining all the organisms which do not contain chlorophyll, they will depend on green plants only. So those all comes under heterotrophic nutrition. So higher animals, human beings we can take as example for heterotrophic nutrition. So autotrophs, how they will prepare their own food? By the process of photosynthesis. So this is the equation for photosynthesis. By using carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll, plant can prepare food in the form of glucose. So glucose is an unstable product. After utilizing by the plant, excess glucose will be converted into starch. Along with glucose, water and oxygen also releasing in photosynthesis. These two are called byproducts. Okay. Next, now we will go to heterotrophic nutrition. So in heterotrophic nutrition again, different modes we can see. So in heterotrophic nutrition again, parasitic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, parasites, saprophytes. So these all comes under heterotrophic nutrition. Parasites means the organisms which will depend on others for their food are called parasites. Saprophytes means the organisms which will feed on dead and decomposing matter. Example, bacteria and fungi. Bacteria and fungi comes under saprophytes. Okay. So next, if you go to nutrition in human beings. Nutrition in human beings. So if it is unicellular organism, only with the help of single cell, organisms can obtain their food. Example, amoeba. If you take amoeba is a shapeless, irregular in shape, so that whenever food vacuole come near to the amoeba, through body surface only, it can intake the food vacuole. So after entering into cytoplasm, the food vacuole can digest and again through body surface only it will send out the waste material. So this mode of nutrition in amoeba is called phagocytosis. This is called phagocytosis. So this we can see only in unicellular organisms like amoeba. Why? Because there is no differentiation in the cells. Okay. So with the help of single cell, they have to take food, and the phosphate which are protruding in the cytoplasm will be produced. It forms a phosphate. The phosphate is called pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feed. Pseudopodia will be produced and it can move from one place to other. So food vacuole will be enters into cytoplasm through body surface. This mode of nutrition is called phagocytosis, we can say. So if you come to higher animals, there is differentiation. Cells will be basic unit of life. What do you call cell now? So group of cells all together they form tissues. Tissues means group of cells which are having similar structure and function. So all the tissues together they form some organs. Okay. Organs together form some organ systems. All the organ systems together they make one organism. It may be human being or any animal. Now what is the basic unit of life here? Cell. Cell is the basic unit of life. So cell is called structural and functional unit of life also. So all the cells, group of cells all together they are forming some tissues. Means which are having similar structure and function are called tissues. All the tissues together they are making some organs, maybe internal or external organs. So internal organs, if you take heart, lungs, kidneys, these all comes under internal organs. External organs, eyes, nose, ears, tongue and skin, which are visible to us. So these are organs together they are making some organ systems. It may be digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, skeletal system, muscular system, nervous system. So these all comes under different organ systems. All the organ systems together they are making one organism. So what is the basic unit of life now? Cell. Any living organism is made by cell. If it is unicellular organism, it contains only single cell. If it is multicellular organism, it contains more than one cells. Now, if it contains more than one cells, there is a differentiation of work. Work differentiation will be there. So each and every organ is having certain function in our body. So what is the function of lungs? Respiration. By lungs we can respire. What is the function of digestive system? To break down the complex state of food into simpler forms. So function of kidneys, filtration of blood. Okay. So like that every organism is having certain function in our body. So differentiation is there. Work differentiation is there. Tissues and organ systems, they are made for certain functions. So if all the organ systems will work together, then only one particular organism can survive. Now we will see the nutrition in human beings. How nutrition means digestion will occur in the human beings, we will see now. Okay, once we will revise heterotrophic nutrition again. Heterotrophic nutrition means the organisms which will depend on green plants. Okay, green plants are autotrophs. So remaining all the organisms directly or indirectly they need to depend on autotrophs only. The organisms which will depend on autotrophs, those all comes under heterotrophs. The mode of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. So different modes of heterotrophic nutrition: parasitic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, we will see now. Parasites means the organisms directly or indirectly which are depending on other organisms are called parasites, which will depend on others. Okay. Example: snail. So saprophytes. Saprophytes means which will depend on dead and decomposing matter. Example: bacteria and fungi. These are helpful to decompose the dead animals and plants. Bacteria and fungi are called saprophytes. Now, if you take amoeba is unicellular organism. So there is no specialized cells for taking food or digestion or excretion for any other functions. So with the help of single cell, it can perform all the activities. So whenever food vacuole come near to the amoeba, this body surface will dissolve to the body surface only. It can take the food into cytoplasm. So this food vacuole will be helpful for the digestion of food molecule. Again at the same time through body surface only it will send out the waste material. So whenever amoeba wants to move from one place to other, the cytoplasm only will protrude. It forms a false feet. This false feet is called pseudopodia. Pseudo means false. Podia means feet. False feet. Okay. So the mode of nutrition in amoeba is called phagocytosis. Phagocytosis we can say. Now basic unit of life. If it is unicellular organism, single cell only performing all the functions. But in multicellular organisms, there is a division of work will be there. So cell is the basic unit of life. A group of cells together they are forming some tissues. Tissues means group of cells which are having similar structure and function. Okay. So group of tissues together they are making some organs. Maybe external or internal organs. Group of organs together they are making some organ systems. All the organ systems they can form one organism. So basic unit of life is cell. Any living organism, it may be unicellular or multicellular, will be made by cell only. So cell is called structural and functional unit of life. Now we will discuss about nutrition in human beings. Now we will see how to draw the human digestive system along with labeling. You also try along with me. See, human digestive system starts with mouth and ends with anus part. So, if you see labeling mouth. So here, if you open our mouth widely, we can see a common passage from food pipe and windpipe. So here, this is a common passage for both food pipe and windpipe. This common passage is called pharynx. Okay. After pharynx, the food pipe will be enters into stomach and windpipe will enters into lungs. So this is a common passage for both food pipe and windpipe. From here, the long tube-like structure, this is called esophagus. Esophagus. Here we can see liver. Above the stomach we can find liver. This is stomach. So stomach to small intestine connection is called C-shaped curve-like structure is called duodenum. Duodenum. So in duodenum part we can find leaf-like structure. This is called pancreas. This is called small intestine. Small intestine. Large intestine. Rectum and anus. This is human digestive system. Human digestive system is also called alimentary canal. Alimentary canal or gut. Gut gut also we can say. So human digestive system or alimentary canal or gut. So in human digestive system, what are the parts present here? We'll start with mouth and ends with anus part. So from mouth to anus, the tube-like structure which is extending from mouth to anus is called alimentary canal or gut. Here, if you observe the digestive system from mouth, so here digestion will complete in some steps. What are they? First one is ingestion. Taking food into mouth is called ingestion. So after ingestion, what happens? With the help of some digestive juices, the complex state of food will be converted into simpler forms. So that process is called digestion. After digestion, what happens? Absorption. Digested food will be absorbed into blood. Absorption. After absorption, absorbed food will be helpful for giving some energy to our body. That is called assimilation. Finally, undigested food will be sent out from our body. That is called digestion. Okay now. So these are the steps in digestion. First, taking food into mouth is ingestion. After ingestion, with the help of some digestive juices, a complex state of food will be converted into simpler forms. So that process is called digestion. After digestion, digested food will be absorbed into our blood in the small intestine with the help of finger-like structures which are present in small intestine. So they are called villi. Through the villi, digested food will be absorbed into blood. That is absorption. After absorption, absorbed food will be helpful to generate some energy in our body. That is called assimilation. After assimilation, undigested food which is not helpful for our body, that will be sent out through anus. That process is called digestion. So these are the different steps which are present in digestion. Now we will see what are the different steps in the digestive process. Different organs, how food will be digested, we will see now. Now we will see how digestion will happen in our human digestive tract. So taking food into mouth. So ingestion we discussed already. So what are the parts in mouth? The inner empty cavity of the mouth is called buccal cavity. So inner empty cavity of the mouth is called buccal cavity. So first, what are the mouth parts helpful in digestion? In buccal cavity we can see teeth, tongue, lower jaw. These all parts will be helpful for proper mastication of food. Chewing food, the thorough chewing of food is called mastication. There are many terms we need to learn in this lesson. So in biology, special terminology will be there, no? So this terminology we need to learn in this lesson. Then only concept will be clear. Mastication means proper chewing of food is called mastication. So properly chewed food, after mastication the food is called bolus. Thoroughly masticated food is called bolus. So the inner empty cavity of the mouth is called buccal cavity. So after taking food into mouth with the help of teeth, tongue and lower jaw, we will masticate the food thoroughly. Masticate means we will chew the food thoroughly. After thorough chewing, the food is called bolus. Okay. So after forming the bolus, when we swallow the food, here we can find a small tongue-like structures near pharynx. That is called epiglottis. Epiglottis. So what is epiglottis? So which is helpful to control traffic between food pipe and windpipe. When you want to swallow the food, this epiglottis will cover the windpipe. When you want to breathe air, the epiglottis will cover the food pipe. So it acts as a trophic constable between food pipe and windpipe. Okay, whenever we want to swallow the food, it covers the windpipe. Whenever we want to breathe the air, it covers the food pipe. So it is a trophic constable between food pipe and windpipe, we can say. So epiglottis is helpful to prevent the entry of food into windpipe. So after that, when we swallow the food, food enters into esophagus. So esophagus is a muscular structure. So when we swallow the food, at a time food won't goes into stomach. So in esophagus, some movements will take place. The movements which are taking place in esophagus are called peristaltic movements. Peristaltic movements, we can see. What is peristaltic movement? So food may not enter into stomach at a time. So by the contraction and relaxation, one contraction and one relaxation will take place. So with the help of contraction and relaxation, slowly food enters into stomach. Okay. Here when food is entering from esophagus to stomach, here we can find a ring-like structure, a muscular ring-like structure. This is called sphincter, cardiac sphincter, we can say. Cardiac sphincter. So what is the function of this cardiac sphincter? So sphincters, wherever they are present, they are helpful to regulate the passage of food. At a time they won't allow the food into stomach. So some amount of food only allows into stomach. So this is the cardiac sphincter which is present near esophagus to stomach part. So after entering food into stomach, the stomach walls are made with mucous membrane. Stomach walls are made with mucous membrane. So here stomach walls will generate HCl also. HCl means what? Hydrochloric acid. So what is the function of this HCl? It is helpful to kill the microbes which enters along with the food. Sometimes along with food some microbes also may enter. Those will be killed by HCl. At the same time HCl is helpful to activate the proteolytic enzymes. The enzymes which are helpful to digest the proteins, those will be activated with the help of hydrochloric acid. These are the two main functions of HCl. HCl is secreted by stomach walls itself. The function of HCl is to kill the microbes which enters along with the food. At the same time to activate the proteolytic enzymes which are helpful for the digestion of proteins. Okay, these 2 points are very important. So the secretion of liver. Secretion of liver is called bile juice. Yes. Now in HCl is helpful to kill the bacteria which enters along with the food. At the same time to activate the proteolytic enzymes. The enzymes which are required for the proteins, those will be activated by HCl. So HCl is secreted by stomach walls itself. Okay, stomach means this mucous membrane is helpful to protect the stomach from HCl. HCl is an acid. So if there is no mucous membrane, there may be chances to get damage for stomach walls also. So mucous membrane is helpful to protect the stomach from HCl. Okay, these are the 2 points you need to remember here. Next, the secretion of liver. Secretion of liver is called bile juice. So liver secretes bile juice. So this bile juice is temporarily stored in gallbladder. Temporarily bile juice will be stored in gallbladder. So what is the function of this bile juice? It is helpful to digest, means to change the complex state of foods into fats into simpler forms. Okay, fats will be converted into fatty acids and glycerol. By the action of bile juice, fats will be converted into fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, bile juice do not contain any enzymes. Okay, so what is the digestive juice present in bile juice means there is no digestive enzyme. Bile juice contains some pigments. Those are called bile pigments. Those are bilirubin and biliverdin. These are the 2 pigments which are present in the bile juice. Bile juice do not contain any enzymes. What is the function of this bile juice? It is temporarily stored in gallbladder and it is helpful to change the complex state of fats into simpler forms. Those are fatty acids and glycerol. So the conversion of fats into fatty acids and glycerol is called emulsification. So the process of converting fats into fatty acids and glycerol is called emulsification. Okay. So what are the pigments present in the bile juice? Bilirubin and biliverdin. So here pancreas will secrete pancreatic juice, that is also secreted into stomach. So here whatever food item we will take, if it is vegetarian or non-vegetarian food, it contains mainly 3 food components only. Those are carbohydrates, proteins, fats. So most of the carbohydrates will be digested in mouth itself. How? Means salivary glands will secrete the saliva. Saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase or ptyalin. Okay, with the help of salivary amylase, carbohydrates, 40 to 50% carbohydrates will be carbohydrate digestion will complete in mouth itself. So what is the enzyme present in the saliva? Salivary amylase or ptyalin. So after complete digestion, carbohydrates will be converted into maltose, dextrins and maltose. Okay, proteins will be digested by they will be converted into peptones. Pepsin is helpful for the digestion of proteins. After digestion, proteins will be converted into peptones. Okay, fats will be converted into fatty acids and glycerol. So any food item from the complex state to simple forms they need to convert. Then only our body cells can utilize. Okay. So in the complex form of food, body cells cannot utilize. So that they need to convert into simpler forms. Okay. Just we will revise once human digestive system. It will start with mouth and ends with anus. In mouth, what are the parts in the mouth? The inner empty cavity of the mouth is called buccal cavity. It contains teeth, tongue and lower jaw is helpful for mastication of food. So here inside the mouth we can find three pairs of salivary glands. Okay, these 3 pairs of salivary glands, one pair is present below the tongue, one pair at the sides of the jaws, one pair near the ears. So these 3 pairs of salivary glands are helpful to secrete the saliva. So without saliva, without wetness in the mouth, we cannot masticate the food. So this saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase. This is also called ptyalin. And enzyme is helpful to digest the carbohydrates. Okay, 40 to 50% carbohydrate digestion will complete in our mouth itself. Okay, so after digestion, carbohydrates will be converted into dextrins and maltose. So from there, mouth to when we swallow the food through the esophagus, food enters into stomach. So the stomach walls are made with a membrane called mucous membrane. Here, HCl will be secreted by stomach walls. HCl is helpful to kill the microbes which enters along with the food. At the same time, it is helpful to activate proteolytic enzymes which are helpful for the digestion of proteins. So after that, from the stomach, after completion of pancreatic juice secretion and liver secretion, food will be thoroughly crushed, churned in the stomach. After that, except the carbohydrates, fats and proteins will be digested in the stomach. There is no enzymes which are required for the digestion of carbohydrates in stomach. So there is no digestion of carbohydrates in stomach. Carbohydrates will be digested in mouth and small intestine only. There is no digestion of carbohydrates in stomach. What is the reason? There is no required enzymes which are helpful for the digestion of carbohydrates in the stomach. Okay. From there, from the stomach, food passes through duodenum to small intestine. So whenever food is passing from stomach to duodenum, here also one sphincter is there. Okay. So one sphincter we write near esophagus to stomach, that is called cardiac sphincter. Again from the stomach to duodenum to small intestine, here one more sphincter we can find. This is called pyloric sphincter. Pyloric sphincter. So wherever these sphincters are present, the function is same, regulating the passage of food from one chamber to other chamber. At a time food they won't allow us into next chamber. So this is called pyloric sphincter. So when the pyloric sphincter will be opens from stomach through the duodenum, food enters into small intestine. Okay. So this is a small intestine is the largest part in the alimentary canal. So nearly it is 5 to 6 centimeters. So here maximum time food will be stored in the small intestine. Here in small intestine, we can find many finger-like projections, many foldings we can see. So these foldings are called villi, microvilli we can say. So these microvilli are helpful to increase the surface area. Complete digestion will happen in small intestine only. After complete digestion, through these villi, digested food will be absorbed into blood. Okay. So after complete digestion, undigested food which is not able to digest further, that food will be goes into large intestine. Large intestine there is no digestion, just some minerals and water molecules will be reabsorbed into blood from the large intestine. After that, undigested food will be stored in the rectum. This is called rectum. Rectum acts as temporary storage tank for fecal material. After storing the fecal material in rectum for some time, through anus it will be sent out from our body. Near anus also we are having two sphincters. Okay, one is voluntary sphincter, one is involuntary sphincter. So voluntary sphincter is under our control, involuntary sphincter is under the control of brain. Whenever brain gives a signal, then only the sphincter will be opens. So this is about human digestive system. Okay. Once again we will revise digestion process from the stomach. After complete digestion in the stomach, food will be enters through duodenum to small intestine. Okay. So here duodenum is a C-shaped curve-like structure which will connect stomach and small intestine. So small intestine is the longest part in the alimentary canal. Okay. So what is the length of the small intestine? 5 to 6 meters. Okay. So after complete digestion in the small intestine, through the microvilli, digested food will be absorbed into blood. Again, undigested food will be goes to large intestine. So it is 1.5 meters. In large intestine, what happens? Some minerals and water only reabsorbs. There is no digestion of food here. So undigested food will be stored in the rectum for some time. So rectum is acting as a storage tank for fecal material. After that, through anus, undigested food will be sent out from our body. That we are calling as digestion. Okay, ma. This is about human digestive system. I hope that you all understood very well. Prepare well. Okay, thank you.